Welcome TJKshares, ladies and gentlemen. We are going to speak about a topic that is dear to my heart. Education never stops. Education breaks barriers. If you go on our TJK website, you'll find that opening quote. Education breaks the barriers of poverty and privation. But let's talk about ongoing education. So many people go to school, learn what they learn, get a job, work and retire and stop learning. Not me. I am committed to learning and getting education, reading and finding knowledge, and I will do this the rest of my life. I take education very seriously because I didn't get it for free in the beginning. As a young child, sharing a pencil with my siblings, a fifth of a pencil, running after my sisters to get education, falling out of a tree at 9 years old and miss 6 months of education, 6 months in a hospital, my grandmother coming to read to me, a woman who didn't know how to read, but would come and recite what my grandfather would have read for her, all taught me lessons of how I needed to continue my education. When we speak of education, many of you just think in classroom education. Education is both formal and informal education. In a classroom, my grandmother, who didn't know how to read, was a good teacher for me. My mother, who died at 93 and never spoke a word in English, was a good teacher, a professor actually for me. Women in my villages, 20,000 of them who are taking care of more than 86,000 children, are the best teachers of their grandchildren. Storytelling. Recently, while here at Harvard, I listened to a professor who taught all her classes, Sarah, for many, many years. Now at 83, with health going down, she sat for the first time to do a lecture for our cohort, educating and telling stories. Education never stops, ladies and gentlemen. We read newspapers and get educated. We read magazines and get educated. Now with social media, many of you actually have education moments every second of the day. You are consuming information. How you use that information, how you use your social media, it is up to you. You can use it to learn, relearn, unlearn. You can use it to get more knowledge, or you can choose just to be entertained and learn silly things. I tell young people around the world all the time that opportunities to learn are more on our doorsteps now more than ever. With our phones, with Google, education is there. Wikipedia. Many of us consume this information and forget that people spend time putting it together. People read books to put this information together so we can consume it. So as a child, I loved what education, what reading brought to me. I've written 7 books and I'm working on more because I want to continue putting knowledge in the world. While I consume knowledge from others, reading books, at least a book a week, or sometimes if they are bigger, more than a week. While I consume other people's knowledge, I also want to share my knowledge out there. So primary school, our amazing, good teachers who taught us walking on the paths, path by path and river by river in Nyaka village, taught me to love education and to continue embracing it. High school education, ladies and gentlemen, in another boarding school in Chinchiza High School in Kanungu, consuming and learning, respecting the teachers that teach us different things, specialized teaching that helped me to get into university setting. It was not until university that I was exposed to so many books, a library for the first time ever. Now I could go into Makerere University Library, borrow whatever book I want, and spend the whole night reading. I was like a child in a candy store. trying to consume as much as I can within the short amount of 3 years I spent at university. The reading, I knew I wanted to read more. I knew I wanted to read more when I was at home. There was no books. I knew I needed to read more when I was at school. There were no libraries. And that is one reason I went back into the village of Nyaka and built a library so people and young children who are growing there can have access to books. That's why I buy Bibles in honor of my mother, so women who can't read at least can get their grandchildren to read them a Bible. Mom loved her Bible. I can't remember how many times she would call me to sit on her side and read that Bible. By the way, learning also, I think I got it from my mother. Though Mom never read English, she loved reading. How do I know? Her Bible was always with her. She always asked somebody to read for her. And being a child of my grandmother who recited for 6 months books, chapters in the book of Psalms in the Bible, it's not surprising. But when I started writing my own books, a school from my village which came out as Price of Stone, Mom kept a copy under her mattress. For a woman who never read, she turned pages all the time looking inside that book. Then when I wrote children books, she's like, now I've gotten something to read. The pictures in those books, Sitwe goes to school, Marisa goes to Kampala, Marisa goes for water, Marisa goes to worship. She didn't see the COVID one, but she had those books and her pages in her copies were overturned because she loved to read. For those of you who have the opportunity to continue learning, do not stop. For young people who are listening to me, keep learning, keep re-educating yourself. I was done with my education after I completed Columbia University. And then I went with Nicholas's mother to Indiana University while she was doing her postdoc. What did I do? I took more classes. I took fundraising classes and management classes. Nyaka is a successful organization because I continued my education and learned the skill of registering a non-profit organization, incorporating it in multiple states, and now here we have Nyaka. An opportunity to learn resulted into a transformation organization called Nyaka that you see. Go to Michigan State University. Now I have classes in fundraising and management, started working at Michigan State University. There's a difference between Michigan University and Michigan State University. The years I worked at Michigan State University, again, libraries available. You can take any classes you want. I knew I was going to work a few years at Michigan State, otherwise I would have enrolled in more education. But I also knew that the skill set I have is enough to get me to do the work I do. However, the learning never stopped. Continued to take classes. I've been honored with 3 honorary PhDs because universities recognize the work that I have done and my insatiable thirst for information and for learning. As we speak right now, so we've gone from primary school to secondary to high school, formal education, to Makerere University bachelor's, to Columbia University as a visiting scholar, learning human rights, becoming a human rights advocate, Indiana University in certifications in management and fundraising, to Michigan State University to work and continue education. Many years later, here we are at Harvard University in Cambridge, Massachusetts, continuing to learn, continuing to consume, continuing to share. The channel you are watching right now, TJKshares, is for your learning process. We are giving you free information to consume, free information to learn, but also guidelines and tidbits on how to run organizations, how to succeed in your interviews, how to handle finances. We are meeting TJK, one-on-one with TJK guests who are experts in the different areas. We'll be bringing you some of Harvard University professors. We'll bring in you government officials. You want to run for president, you can learn how to do it. You want to learn how to run, you can do it. You want to learn how to lose weight, you can do it. Just stay on your journey of education, your journey of learning. It does not end. Don't start and finish. I am not starting and finish. I'm going to learn as long as I breathe. I'm going to read things that enrich me. I'm going to read things that will make me laugh. I'm going to read things that will make my mind settle. If I want to taste a different wine, I'm going to read about it. There are books about wine. There are books about water, the importance of running, forms of running, exercise, beauty, hair cutting, anything. Many of you watched World Cup games the other day. We are singing goal Bumpy for France, goal Leon Messi for Argentina, the ones who won the championship. You can read books about soccer. This doesn't only help you young people, my young people in Uganda, to just know their names and the position. Read more where they came from. Read their biographies. Understand the art of playing and how they developed their careers. And you can do the same when you understand where they have come from. Don't start and finish. Continue to learn. This video is to help you to continue learning. Some people are better learners when they read visually. Others are better learners when they hear. It's like in these videos. Soon we'll start putting subtitles so even people who cannot listen to me can read them and get the information you're getting. Keep learning, keep subscribing, keep sharing. TJKshares, we are here to bring information to you so we can continue to learn together.